Hello and welcome to my Astronomy Nights. I'm Derek, and in this video I'm looking at C2025 A6 Comet Lemmon. Now Comet Lemmon has been in the sky for the last few months and really well placed, but unfortunately my weather hasn't been good enough and I only got a single night on this comet, but I was able to throw everything at it. So let's take a look and see what kind of results I got. Now first of all, tracking it down, it has been moving quite fast. So initially when I was trying to get out and observe this, it was in under the handle of the Big Dipper, but it's moved all the way across the sky and is currently sitting in Ophiuchus. If you do get a chance over the weekend to observe this, it's really low on the horizon, about 10 degrees, but it's just 4 degrees away from Messier 10 or from the little star Psyche in Ophiuchus. Now this would be very low on the horizon, so it would be quite difficult to observe from my latitude. But if you do observe Messier 10, if you can pick it up in your binoculars, you should be able to see the comet nearby just within the same field of view. So if you have a good clear horizon and you get lucky with the weather, this is the last chance to get out and have a look at this one or take a photograph. Comet Lemmon was discovered by the Mount Lemmon Observatory survey, and it was initially predicted to be in around magnitude 10, so it really surpassed that brightness and it has become a naked eye comet in the western horizon. I was unfortunate with the weather, like very unfortunate. I only got a single good night on this, so when I did get that good night, I got everything set up on it. I had my 12-inch Dobsonian, my camera, and my NEQ6 with my little H2mm refractor on it, and I tried to get as much on it as I could. And it was quite hectic, but I got a wonderful hour of observing in on it as my camera and as my two cameras were getting my data on it. Now it's really bright, it's currently magnitude 4.3, so if you do get a chance to get out, you should be able to pick it up in a nice little pair of binoculars or a naked eye, and then if you do have your camera on it as well, it should show up quite well. So getting my data on this one, I was using my QHY163 mono and I had it on my 82 ED refractor. Now I was shooting with RGB filters and I had a very short window, so I only got to experiment a little bit with exposure times and settings, and I ended up going with a 20-second exposure for each of the subs on this one, and then ran it, I think it was overall about 120 frames for it. I had quite a short window. I didn't get to experiment with any longer exposures. I think again, if I had another chance at a comet, unfortunately I only got one night on this one, and that was only about an hour session to get to run the camera on it. But if I was going again, I would definitely put my GH5 on and just shoot in color, because it would just give you that a bit more time and then a bit less work on the editing side. Once I got into Cyril with the RGB data, I had to run each pass and separate out the comet from the stars on each one of them and then try to set them up. So it was quite a lot of steps just to get this single image. Observing this one was fantastic. I managed to get my 12-inch Dobsonian out on it and it was just wonderful. It was just at the right height. It was about 20 degrees up, so the Dob was able to sit nicely balanced in a nice seated position. And it looked fabulous in my 32mm eyepiece and my 24mm eyepiece. It just had that really lovely cone shape working up from the tail onto the coma of the comet. You could see the core and you could see that lovely fanned tail, and the longer I had and the darker the sky got, the more you got that lovely contrast out of it. It was just a really fabulous one to get. The last time I was observing a comet was, I think it was Comet Leonard that I got the telescope on, and Comet Atlas, and it just didn't show up as well. I think it was just the contrast, or maybe it was just the night because there was no moon nearby. So for my observing sessions on this one, I primarily used my 12-inch Dobsonian. I was using a couple of pairs of binoculars along with it, but it was the 12-inch Dob that I was focused on. The best view I had was with my Panaview 32mm, because I could fit most of that fanned tail in with it, and the coma of the comet itself, which was about 4 arc minutes. It had a wonderful tail fanning back. It was really kind of arced triangle look to it, but it was fantastic in the eyepiece. I put a little bit of magnification on it then, but I found it was easier just to go with my 2-inch eyepieces, as the weighting on the telescope, with it being under 20 degrees or so, the weighting as the longer the night went on, it was just easier to keep that eyepiece in it. I was able to get a lovely view as well with my 2X binoculars as well. They're those real wide field binoculars, so I was just able to pick them up because it was just outside of a naked eye view at the time, especially in that bright sky, but that had a wonderful view as well. But it was just amazing to get the focal length of a 12-inch Dob and that light gathering of it onto a comet, and it was the best comet I've ever observed for the sheer size of it in the eyepiece, along with how bright it had got. It's just a real pity I didn't get any more nights other than one single session on this one. All in all, I think this was a wonderful target. I was so pleased to finally get out and observe it. I'd seen so many photos on the internet, and to finally get out and get my own one, it was fantastic. It really there's an itch there now. I really want to get out and do another comet. There is 2 more bright ones coming in November, so I'm going to leave those names here. I haven't checked them yet, and we'll be able to get out and observe those. They're going to be much dimmer obviously, but I think the technique in photographing a comet and getting it into serial is quite tricky, so I think the more times you can do that, the better it is for when those bright ones return again. So hopefully you can get out over the weekend and get another little glimpse of Comet Lemmon before it's gone. Till next time, clear skies.